Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this awesome looking modern mansion. We've went a little bit crazy with this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you do enjoy the video, please do remember to smack that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And legend has it, a lot of legends surrounding these videos these days, legend has it that if you do hit that like button, you will gain one fully functioning lightsaber. I call it a like saber. It will appear underneath your Christmas tree on Christmas Day if you like this video. Legend has it. Only in blue though. They only come in blue. The reason for that is that when you click that like button, what colour does it turn? Blue. Illuminati confirmed. Lightsaber confirmed. Legend confirmed. So if you do like the video, basically, I just really appreciate it. I can't guarantee that you'll get a lightsaber, but I'll tell you what. There might be a decent chance you'll get one. Rogue One's just came out after all. Honestly, it just really helps me out. I'd really love you if you could do that for me. It helps the channel grow, it helps the video grow, and if you want to give me a Christmas present, please do hit that like button. If you enjoy the content, please do subscribe to the channel. Say hello if you subscribe. I try my best to respond to every single one of you. I can't always do it, but I try my best. And click that little bell next to the subscription button, because that will make sure that you actually get the videos sent directly to your sub box, other than what happens now, which is sometimes they show up if you're lucky. You gotta subscribe twice. From YouTube as Christmas present, I would love it if the subscription button actually worked. But guys, I think that we've talked enough. Why don't I actually show you how to make this beautiful modern mansion? So, if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some block of quartz, some pillar quartz blocks, some quartz stairs, some quartz slabs, some dark oak wood planks, some blue hardened clay, some black stained glass paint, some light stained glass, and some birchwood planks. Plus, we need all of the other materials that you may see in the inventory right now, and we will probably even need more, especially if you want to do the inside and the outside, which, by the way, I will not be covering in this video. It is simply the actual building that I will show you how to make. Anyway, once you have everything you need, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, and I can tell you that the actual house portion of this build will fit in a 27 by 33 area. That is 20 blocks coming across the front of the build, and 33 blocks going towards the back of the build. Now, if you want to dig out an area in your world like this so you can better prepare yourself, well, if you do that, you're going to want to begin on the very front left-hand corner block, which is this one. And we want to move into the right, and we want to find the 14th block. So this is the first block, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11, 12, 13, 14. We now want to move inwards by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And on top of this 12th block, this is where we're going to start things off. We want to begin with a row of 4 dark oak wood planks coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then going left of that 4th plank, we want to do 7 planks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. Connect that down to the ground. What you can then do is you can then add a row of black stained glass pane left and black stained glass pane right of your dark oak wood planks. And inside of it, you then want to do a row of pillar quartz block left and right of the pane. Then do a row of pane, or actually black stained glass block might be better for this. Do a row of black stained glass block just inside of the top of the 2 pillars, and then do a row of quartz slab that comes across the lower half of the top pillar quartz blocks going from left to right. Now, going left of the bottom left-hand corner dark oak wood plank, we want to go left and place a blue hardened clay. We then want to extend that clay coming towards us by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then you want to do, as if you're looking at the ground, 2 bottom left diagonals. That's 1 and 2. Then go left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Like this. We then want to take this 3rd block, and we want to place in front of it an upside down quartz stairs. Now, that will become important later, but what we now want to do is we want to come behind this blue stained block, and we want to come behind it by, first of all, one with the blue hardened clay, then we want to place a pillar quartz block on the outside of it, then we want to come further back by 8 with the blue hardened clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then place a pillar quartz block on the side of it. Then do 8 blue hardened clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then place a pillar quartz block on the side of that 8th block. Then you want to do an inward diagonal with your blue hardened clay, and then move to the left by 1. And then do 2 inward diagonals moving this way, that's 1 and 2. Then take that second diagonal and bring it across the back of the build by 2, 1, 2. Place a pillar quartz block in front of that second block. Then extend the blue hardened clay block across by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place a pillar quartz block in front of it. Then extend that blue hardened clay once again across by 1. And this time we now want to extend that blue hardened clay up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that might seem a little bit random, but you'll see why we've done that a little later on. Now, we want to take the bottom 3 blue hardened clays and we want to place black stained glass next to it. That can either be the pane or it can be the block. Then we want to leave a gap of 1 in the ground and then do another row of 3 glass pane coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, and 3. Then left of that, place a row of 5 blue hardened clay. So equal in length to the previous row of blue hardened clay, place yet another one. Then, you can actually connect the blue hardened clay row together, and you can use block of quartz like this, just above where the windows are. And, just to save us doing this later on, you can also place black stained glass pane here, just next to the 2 blue hardened clay that we have showing up above. Now, once that's sorted out, that's enough messing about with the second floor of the house for now. You want to return all the way back down to the bottom of the left-hand blue stained clay block. And we want to go left of it by 1 with the blue hardened clay. We then want to place a pillar quartz block in front of it. Then we want to take that blue hardened clay and we want to go left of it by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we want to place a pillar quartz block in front of it. We then want to continue extending it to the left by 2. That's 1, 2. Now we want to do 2 inward diagonals going to the left. We want to do 1 and 2. Then you want to move inwards by 1. Then, you want to, looking at it this way, you want to do an outward, diagonal like this. Place a pillar quartz block in front of it. Then go left of that blue hardened clay by 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then place a pillar quartz block in front of that. Then extend the blue hardened clay forward once again by 7 this time. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we want to place a dark oak wood plank. So, on top of this dark oak wood plank, first of all, you want to extend it up by 3. That's 1, 2, and 3. Then, you want to look at it from the front, and you want to take the third block in your dark oak wood plank row, so it's the one from the top, and you want to extend it to the left by 2 with the with the blue hardened clay, that's 1, 2. Extend that clay down to the ground. Then, do a row of dark oak wood planks to the left of the row of blue hardened clay. Do a row of block of quartz in front of the row of dark oak wood planks. Extend the top block of quartz across by 2, with the quartz slab extending back to the entrance. Take the bottom block of quartz and extend the upper half of the bottom block of quartz to the left by 2 with the quartz slabs. Then place a block of quartz to the left of that. And behind this block of quartz, place a dark oak wood plank. Then extend it backwards by 1. Then to the left by 1. What we then want to do is on top of each one of these dark oak wood planks, we want to add 3 blocks. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Take the top block of the last row that we just made and extend it to the left until it connects to the entrance. So you can see here that it will connect to the top right hand corner of the entrance. You just have to go left of it by 4. Then connect it back to the entrance, and also take the block that does connect to the top of the entrance, extend it down like that, Now, we want to connect the bottom of this part that we've just made together with upside down quartz stairs. So we want to form a nice right angle like this. Then you can fill this particular area in with black stained glass pane. This is just a nice little window that we have just right of the entrance. Looks great. Now, once that is sorted out, we should probably move on to the next bit. So just let me make sure that everything is in order. So what we can also do is where we have this row of 4 dark oak wood planks here on the right, just next to the entrance, you can actually extend that to the left and you can connect to here. You can also, just behind this window, place a row of block of quartz, and you can fill this in with black stained glass pane like this. And what we also have to do, except this, it's going to be easier if we do the next bit first. I'm sorry guys, it really is, it's a difficult build to put together. So once you've got that sorted out, what we now want to do is this. So, where we have the entrance, the main entrance, we want to take the top left-hand corner dark oak wood plank block, and we want to go left of it by 1 with the blue hardened clay. We then want to extend this clay forwards by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. We then want to do 2 bottom left diagonals, like coming towards us, like 2 inward diagonals coming towards us to the left. We then want to go left by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. We want to connect down. And we then want to look at our little project sideways, like this. What we now want to do is actually this. We want to take out the dark oak wood planks, and going backwards of this blue hardened clay, we want to do a row of dark oak wood planks that is equal to the row of blue hardened clay that we have slightly below us. So we want to trace along the same shape that the blue hardened clay follows just below us. We also want to then connect it to the entrance like it does here, so in the row where we have like this row of block of quartz, and we want to follow through, and we want to place another row of dark oak wood planks that is equal in row to the blue hardened clay again. So it wants to follow through and go all the way around the house. So you'll end up with a shape that looks very much like this. Now, once you've got that sorted out, we actually want to do a very similar thing once again. So what we can now do, and let me just make sure that we are doing this correctly, because the last thing we want to do is mess up on this, guys, because once you mess up on like modern houses, it's not fun. So where we have the entrance here at the back entrance, where we have these 2 rows of blue hardened clay, place a dark oak wood plank on top of each one of these, connect them together. We then want to come all the way to the front left hand corner, and we want to take this row of blue hardened clay, and we want to place a row of, 3 blue hardened clay on top of this corner block. That's 1, 2, and 3, like this. We can then extend another row of dark oak wood planks coming from the front left-hand corner of the build, and we can connect it in the middle at the back. So it's the same shape with the dark oak wood planks once again, except we just want to do that particular side. And now we're going to make sure that we can actually do the same thing on the other side. So if we now come over to the opposite part of the build, so if we come all the way over to here, and if we start on this corner block, and we move our way inwards, and we find the 5th block in, so that's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, the 5th block in, and on top of this we can do a row of 4 blue hardened clay. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take the 3rd blue hardened clay, and you can then do a row of dark oak wood planks, very much like the previous ones, in which it wants to follow along the shape of the dark oak wood that you have previously and the blue hardened clay, and it wants to connect back like this. You've got to be very careful with what you can connect and what you can't. You can also do a row of blue hardened clay on top of the dark oak wood planks that that goes all the way around. So do a row of blue hardened clay that goes all the way around on top of the build, and it just wants to just trace along all the way around on top of it. Very, very easy to add in, very, very easy to do, and it wants to connect right to the front entrance like this. Now, once you've got that sorted out, we're now going to do the second story of the house. So, the way that this works is we're going to start from this front top left-hand blue hardened clay block, and we're going to take this block and we're going to extend it to the right by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. We then want to do 2 inward diagonals to the right. So that's 1 and 2. We want to take that second block and we want to extend it back, then extend this block backwards by 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then take that 7th block and extend it across the front of the build by 14. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Extend that 14th block in front of itself by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend that block all the way over to the right, and you should find that you connect all the way back to where we placed a row of blue hardened clay earlier. Now, what we want to do is this. So, in front of this row of blue hardened clay that we just connected to, we want to place a row of pillar quartz block equal in height in front of it. We then want to place a row of dark oak wood planks underneath the entire row of blue hardened clay that we've just placed. Well, kind of. It actually wants to come all the way to here and no further. So it wants to come all the way under this row of 14, well 15 since we have this block, all the way underneath this row, and it does not want to extend any further than that. Now, once you've got that sorted out, we now want to do this, and you know what, it's going to be so much easier if we fill in the second floor to this house. The second floor of the house is in line where we have the dark oak wood plank row that we placed previously. So, where we have the row of dark oak wood planks in between, like, the first row, like the middle row. Like, if you look at the house, it's like almost cut in half. That is where the second floor is. That is the best way that I can use to describe it. That is where the second floor of the house is supposed to be. Now, I would highly recommend making the floor out of dark oak wood planks. And here's why. A lot of this house is visually exposed from the outside. Like, you can see just about straight into the house, no matter where you go. And if you start using different colours for like the balcony and stuff like that, although we are going to be using a little bit of blue hardened clay, then you're going to very quickly notice that you can see very easily the separation between the two colours. So it's just easier if you stick to one colour for the entire second floor. So maybe you want the entire second floor, including the balcony, including the overhangs, including all of that stuff, to be quartz. Make the second floor quartz if you like. Maybe you want it to be blue hardened clay. Make the floor blue hardened clay. You guys get the idea. You want to make it whatever colour you really want to see on the outside of the house as well. But because a lot of the frame is also made out of dark oak wood planks, that is why I decided to go with it. But it's completely up to you, and it's not that difficult to change should you decide that, hey, I want another colour. It's not that difficult to do, so I mean, you know, it's not so bad. Mess around with it a little bit if you so desire, and you'll find a colour that you like in no time. But I will tell you that I found very quickly that I like the dark oak wood planks. And once you've completely filled in the second floor, not only have we made things easier, but we have made it look a little bit nicer. Now, once you've got that sorted out, this is what we're going to do next. So, we want to take out the block of quartz. We want to place a block of quartz in this position here on the front and this position here on the front. So basically, inside the two corners here in the middle part of the front of the house on the second floor. Extend the block of quartz down to the ground like this. So we want to have two pillars of block of quartz. We then want to take this row of block of quartz that we have here on the right, and we want to extend it forwards by 3 with the quartz slab. That's 1, 2, 3, like coming towards the front. Then we want to do a row of pillar quartz block in front of that row of quartz slab like this. So we want to join down to the floor, and we want a row of pillar quartz block. We then want to take inside of this shape right here, so this is where the entrance out onto the balcony is. We want to do a row of blue hardened clay left and right of the bottom of the inside of this shape. So just so that we've kind of cut off the amount of walking room we have, we want blue hardened clay left and right. Also, you can also add a little bit of black stained glass in there too. On the left-hand side of this, we want a similar deal, so you can add blue hardened clay here on the left, and you can also fill that in with black stained glass as well. Where we have this part, this long part, we're going to shorten this by placing a dark oak wood plank row on the left and right, just connecting the dark oak wood plank row down to the second floor. Then I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to have 2 rows of black stained glass coming in from either side. Now, I am using the pane, so it's kind of tricky. So I'm doing 2 rows of pane, like this. Then I'm going to do a row of dark oak wood planks. I'm going to do pillar quartz block in front of these planks, and I want the pillar quartz block to just be 2 rows high, like that. What we now want to do is this. So can you see this row of dark blue hardened clay? I always call it dark blue hardened clay. This row of blue hardened clay that we have here on the left, in the middle of the house. Double that up. So add an additional row of blue hardened clay on top of this and have it extend to here. So once you've doubled up on that row of blue hardened clay, you actually want to take this block right here, this one, and you want to place a block of quartz in this position. You guys can see where. You want to place a block of quartz in this position, and maybe actually just place one below it as well, and then extend that block of quartz up until it is equal in height to the blue hardened clay. You can then proceed to fill in the front part of this blue hardened clay. I would highly recommend the black stained glass block, just so that it looks a little bit nicer. You can fill this in with the black stained glass block, like this. And then this area is where you can like walk in and out. So you might want to have something like, you might want to connect the blue hardened clay down to the ground like this, and then later on we might make that a bit fancier. But for now we just want to have something which should kind of look like this. It might be easier if we turn the entire second floor into glass. So I don't know. You know what? I think I'm gonna use black stained glass block for the entire second floor. So take the outer row of the entire second floor on top of the very outer dark oak wood plank blocks, and just fill in between the 2 rows of dark oak wood planks in with black glass. It's as easy as that. You just want to fill those 2 rows in with black glass. You guys can see what I'm doing here, and it's just going to make things easier to like meld them. It's going to make it easier to add detail, because we do have to add a fair bit of detail as well. So we just want to add this. And by the way, here on the right, you can see where we have this row of dark oak wood planks. You can actually knock out this blue hardened clay, and you can place a dark oak wood plank there, and it'll actually look ever so slightly better, just slightly better later. It's not a big change, but it is a change. Also, we now want to fill in, with glass once again, black stained glass block, the entire ground floor now in with, well, like I said, black stained glass block. We want to fill in the entire ground floor where we can in with the glass. And we're also going to add the details there as well. And these details are really, really easy to add. I keep saying details, and I'm sure you guys are like, what's he talking about? What details? What are we going to be doing? It's really easy stuff. You're going to see in a second why we placed all of the pillar quartz block. You'll see how that's going to connect together, and you'll see how some of these modern houses can very quickly turn from kind of like ugly houses, which I think that this one might look a bit ugly at the moment. I haven't had a proper look at it, but it looks kind of ugly. I would bet at the moment it will not look that way once we've finished. So yeah, we kind of have like a pretty ugly-ish looking modern house, don't we? It's a little bit ugly. I think we can all admit that. Well, we're going to be messing about with that in just a moment, because I think that an easier thing to do before we move on is going to be to do the balcony here. So take out your blue hardened clay here and come to the balcony. So it's right about here, right? You want to take the 5 middle blocks, one 2, 3, 4, 5 of the dark oak wood plank row just above the entrance, these 5, and you want to do 7 rows of 5 blue hardened clay blocks coming from the center 5 dark oak wood plank blocks, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. So we want to take these and we want to have 7 rows in total. That's 1 row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now I'm just going to fill those in. You don't have to use blue hardened clay, by the way. You don't have to use blue hardened clay at all. You can very easily use any kind of material you want. I like blue hardened clay. That's my jam. Okay. So once you have these 7 rows, we now want to take out the quartz slabs, and we want to do a row of quartz slabs coming left and right of those 2 rows, like on the upper half of the 2 rows. We then want to take the end quartz slabs and we want to do upside down quartz stairs in front of the 2 last quartz slabs, and then we want to take out our dark oak wood stairs and we want to place upside down, sideways facing mind you, dark oak wood stairs facing inwards like this, and we also want to use dark oak wood slabs to connect those 2 stairs together, and you get a really cool effect like this, or at least I like it a lot. Underneath the 2 quartz stairs, we want to place 2 pillar quartz blocks like this. You guys can see what I'm doing, 2 pillar quartz blocks. And then to connect down to the ground, we want to place regular quartz stairs. Connect them together with quartz slabs. You can also connect them to the house, so you can connect to the house using your quartz slabs, and on the left hand side here I would leave a gap just so that you can walk in and out of this place. Later on, or what we can do now, is you can just kind of like add some birchwood planks here if you wish. I like to make the underneath part of this, like where the ground is that I'm destroying now, I quite like this as birchwood. So I'm going to very quickly turn this into birchwood planks just so that we can see it nicely. I would highly recommend also adding some form of a light. So the way that I added light to this place is I grabbed a sea lantern and I knocked out 2 blocks from the center, which are about here I think, and maybe here. And I have sea lanterns here built in, and up here I have a table, so like I'd have like a table here and I'd have like 2 chairs like this, or maybe it could easily be turned into like kind of like a seating, a bench or something like that. You guys get the idea. Basically just cover up the sea lantern or sea lanterns that we have upstairs. It'd actually be a bit better if it was like a table and chairs, and then that way it very easily covers it, and you don't get too distracted. So you might want to do something like that upstairs. Once you've got that sorted out, we're now going to detail the house once again just a little bit more. So actually, here's what we're going to do first. So remember all of the rows of pillar quartz blocks that we have surrounding the house, right? We want to take those rows of pillar quartz blocks and we want to add on top of them, we want to add in total, we want to add 5 pillar quartz blocks on top of each one of the pillar quartz. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you want to do that going all the way around. You don't have to count them. They just have to come in line with the top windows of the house. So just travel the house, find every single one of the pillar quartz blocks, preferably make them placed the right way, and you just want to extend them up, and they want to touch the top windows of the house. So you guys can see what I'm doing here. It doesn't really require too much explanation, and you just want to, like I said, you just want to add all of this. So that is perfect. And let me just make sure there's not an additional one on the right, and there isn't. Okay, so now we want to do this. We have to add a row of quartz slabs. This row of quartz slabs, I placed those the wrong way, didn't I? Okay, we want to add a row of quartz slabs. This row of quartz slabs sits on top of the pillar quartz blocks. It travels around the entire house, and it wants to connect all of the pillar quartz blocks together. So as you can see, it travels around the entire house. It just sits, it just goes around, it just goes all the way around like this in front of the house, and it wants to connect everything together. It also travels, like I said, around the front of the house like this, and you might find that it spectacularly connects the top of the entrance together at the top front of the house as well. It wants to move in between the entrance, and it actually wants to come all the way back. It wants to come all the way back, and it wants to connect to itself. And you you have added the first row of quartz slabs. The second row of quartz slabs, it's the same thing except it's right at the top of the house. You want to add an additional row of quartz slabs that travels once again all the way around the top of the house, except this time it is in the upper half of the very top row of the house, as you can see. So it travels all the way around the top row of the house. I can't say it anymore, and it just goes round and round and round, and it connects all the way back to itself. We also, I believe, actually, I don't think this is true. I was going to say that we have to do this again, but you know what? I think we do, but I'll have to specify exactly where that is. So we want to have this. Yeah, that is actually perfect. Actually, you know what? We're going to remove it on the front window here because it doesn't look right. I thought that it actually looked kind of cool. We're just going to remove it from that front window, but it can carry on through everywhere else. So you might have been wondering from earlier, why is there an upside down quartz stair here out in front of the house? Well, this quartz stair, we're actually going to go up on top of it by 6 with the pillar quartz block. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to swap this top slab out for an upside down quartz stairs, and then that is actually going to connect quite cleverly to the top of the house like that. Okay, so once you've done that, we have to add a little bit more quartz slabbage. So we're going to start just here. Just right of the entrance where we have this window, we're going to place a row of quartz slabs that comes from this point here, and it's going to extend all the way over to the left, going out in front of the house. Going to extend all the way over to the left, and it is going to connect to the row of block of quartz that we have, and it's going to connect to the pillar quartz row that we've just placed. So we want to have something which should look like this. Also, from the same position that we just kind of like started on, except on top of this dark oak wood plank block. No, on top of the exact same block that we just started on, we want to place another pillar quartz, another quartz slab, and we want to extend that slab out in front of the balcony, and it wants to wrap around, and it wants to connect all the way to the very back of the house on this side. So it wants to connect to this back pillar quartz block. So we want to have an effect which should look like this on the side, and it should look like this on the balcony, so it looks quite nice. You can also kind of like form a full, well, that's actually a full block right there, but you could form like a full block here with the quartz, and you could maybe add a little bit of glass inside the balcony. So you could maybe add a little bit of black stained glass going all the way around the inside of the edge of the balcony, and that actually looks quite good. You can connect it all the way back to here if you like. And we can now add on top of the pillar quartz block, so maybe we'll destroy that one. On top of the quartz slabs, we're now going to add a little bit of glass here just so that nobody falls off of the balcony on the front. So that actually looks really quite nice how we have it. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that is the actual house complete. That's pretty much it. Oh, wait, no, how silly am I? We are missing just one thing. How could I forget this? I'm so silly. Out of the back here, we have a back entrance to the house. Really, really simple. Where we have this floor, where we have this row of 3 block of quartz here, I'm going to take the upper row of this block of quartz, and I'm going to extend it outwards in front of the house by 3 rows with the quartz slabs. That's 1 row, 2 rows, and then 3 rows. And then I'm going to extend the row of block of quartz slabs outwards by 1 row. And then once again, going to extend the initial row outwards by an additional row. I'm going to place a row of pillar quartz block inside of the 2 corners that I've just placed, and I'm going to connect them down to the ground, and I'm going to place black stained glass pane here in between the pillar quartz, and we'll end up with a really cool balcony on the back all by itself, and that just kind of adds a nice little finish to the back of the house. And once you've done that, the only things that you might want to do here, you might want to fill in the entire top of the entire roof in with black glass block. Kind of up to you what material you want to use, but we've been using black glass everywhere else, so we may as well continue the trend and continue to do it. As for the floor, the flooring for the actual mansion, the ground floor, I would highly recommend block of quartz. If you want to mess about with the outside of the house, I'm not going to include that in this video. I will show you the original mansion once again, just in case you want a little bit of an idea what to do with the outside, but I would highly recommend doing something different from me. Or maybe I will show you how I achieved the effect outside, but it's really, really boring outside this mansion. I would highly recommend that you kind of just do your own thing. I essentially just have a little bit of a mini pool on the front of the mansion, nothing crazy, and I have a little bit of lights and some hedge, so I guess I'll show you how to make that, because it's really, really easy. But as I said, I'd recommend like adding stuff to this place, like I'd add like a tennis court or something like that, of which I have tutorials for, by the way. If you did want to add like a tennis court or a basketball court, something like that to this house, I would highly recommend just checking out the channel, and you could find loads of stuff to add to this thing. But that's the roof filled in. If you wanted to be a little bit more like mine, the original house, the front left-hand corner where we have the upside down stairs, I'm actually going to swap this to a regular stairs. I'm going to extend that regular stairs out in front of the house with the quartz slabs. And I'm going to extend it out in front of the house until it is equal in length with the balcony. I'm then going to extend it across the front of the house until it is equal in length with the blue hardened clay. I'm going to extend it backwards, and I'm going to extend it back towards the house like this, so it now slots in. I'm now going to add in some redstone lamps. I think I'll add one in this position, looks good, and in this position connecting to the house looks fine, and I'll add no more in. I'll just keep those two, and maybe I'll add one in this corner as well. And obviously those have to be lit up, so now that I'm happy with the position of the lamps, I'm going to add these. I think that looks okay. And I would also like a blue hardened clay left and right. This is the entrance to the pool, and perhaps even a dark oak wood fence here just coming behind. And I would also like a separation like here, like a dark oak wood plank. And I'm just going to destroy the center part. This is a pool for the house. This is where a pool is. So that's what that's for. And I'm also going to add a little bit of hedging and lights here. So on the left-hand side of the house, I'm going to line up where we have like this row of dark green here. Which is basically like the outer boundaries of the house. I'm going to place a lamp here, which is in line with the window, and then I'm going to leave a gap of 2, place a lamp, gap of 2, place a lamp. Yeah, that works nicely. And then I'm going to grab the jungle leaves. I'm going to connect those all together. Now, these could be connected together in a much fancier way, I'm sure. Like maybe you could use a little bit of fence in amongst the jungle leaves if you so want to, maybe like here and here, just to make it look a little bit fancier, a little bit nicer. Maybe one here as well. Actually, that'd be a jungle leaf, wouldn't it? Or would it? I don't know, it doesn't really matter, you can do whatever you want. And if you also wanted to add just a little bit more of something, maybe like a weighted pressure plate on top of the lamps, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. And this is what I did to the outside, essentially. And I obviously then filled in the area with, I filled in this part. The grass area in with fake grass. Now, fake grass is something that I'm really enjoying using at the moment in a variety of builds. Fake grass is essentially rows of lime clay and green clay. So it's as easy as that. In a pattern, one after the other. Lime, green, lime, green, lime, green. Kind of like a rhyme. Marco Polo, Marco Polo. It's the same thing over and over again. And it just makes a really nice lawn effect. Whereas the grass of Minecraft is a little bit boring. I just feels it. However, if you add artificial grass like I'm doing now, it looks a whole lot less boring. It looks planned, it looks nice, it's vibrant, it's striking. I like it a lot more than regular grass, and this is basically what I did to the front of the house that you saw in the original. I guess there's no point in showing you the original now because we've just about done it. I also added a little bit of a lawn going all the way around the house in the original, but there's no real reason to show you that because, like I said, I mean, that's all there is to it. There's just a little bit of grass. I didn't do anything to the outside because I want you guys to design the outside for yourself. I'm trying not to do interior videos. I'm trying my best to just kind of like put the houses out there and you guys can do with them what you want. It's kind of up to you completely. I'm not that good at interiors as it is. I don't really want to impose what you have to do to these houses. And what you can then do is you can then fill in the pool that we have in here in the left. I quite like this little pool that we have. You'd also obviously add like a backing to the pool. You'd probably add like quartz blocks at the bottom or something, but it looks fine just like that. And if you actually wanted to distinguish this little bit of land here, you might actually want to do this. So you just might want to make inside this area, if it's just like a little patio area or something like that, you might want to just, like I said, like if you just make it so that this part is like stone slabs, then that would distinguish it between the grass, but you don't have to do anything. You could even make it into a little flower bed if you so chose. It's kind of completely up to you. But I quite like that, and if you did then want to put some planters here, I always like plants. When making stuff, I always enjoy putting plants in places, and my favorite plant, as you guys might know, is the poppy, so you can always add some poppies, and there is always room for wooden trapdoors all the way around. It's such a simple decoration, but is by far my favorite decoration when it comes to just about any house. And obviously you might want to light up the redstone, or light up the redstone lamps with redstone. And there you go, they have a nice, very, very modern mansion. It's very big on the inside. You can make it bigger if you like, you can extend it, you can expand it, you can do what you want. You can add an underground bunker, you could add all sorts to this place. Well, this is the house done. I hope that you guys enjoy this build. I hope that it's been fun. I hope that you've got a really cool house out of this. If you did enjoy the video, guys, please do remember to slap that like button. I would really, really appreciate it. I honestly would. You might get your lightsaber, but what you will definitely get is my appreciation and admiration. I would love it if you could do that. And if you do enjoy the video, please do subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, say hello down there in the comments. I try to respond to everybody that's a brand new subscriber, but I will miss some of you guys. But also do click the little bell next to the subscription button, and that'll mean that you get all my videos. Also, comment down below, what do you want to see next? A lot of you guys were asking for more Modern Mansions. Well, this is the second Modern Mansion that I've made in a few weeks, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you want to explore my channel, if you want to make more stuff, check out the card system in the description below and look for some playlists. So, these playlists will include things like suburban houses. If you checked out the suburban house playlist, you might come across this house. This is suburban house. This is my small, simple suburban house. If you wanted to still explore the suburban house playlist, but you were looking for something a little bigger, you'd find this as a tutorial, or maybe even this. Or if pink is your thing, maybe even that. We also have house playlists, like this is a Christmas house, this is a gingerbread house. We even have modern houses, so that's an example of a modern house. We've just made one, we also have this one, and we've also made more Christmas houses. This is the other modern mansion that I've made, still haven't done the outside. This is my house, actually. This is my house in Minecraft, and made just a little bit nicer, a lot nicer, really. Those are all house playlists, but if you delved into the real world buildings playlist, and this is getting embarrassing, that the city sector in this world actually isn't getting any bigger. I should really work on this. This is the real world buildings playlist. Will show you how to make everything that you see on the ground right now, and many more things. We've got things ranging from supermarkets to churches to train stations to barbershops to cafes to everything down there. If you wanted to make some more parky stuff, this is a park build. You will check out the park builds playlist, and this will show you everything you need to make a pretty sick looking public park. Like, this doesn't even have to get any bigger to look really cool. This is a nice thing to have in a world, like just a huge public park like this. And we even have some more examples of houses down here. We have my eco house, which you can see over there. We have a hobbit hole, which is really cool over there. We have an ultimate survival house, which is here, and we have all sorts of crazy stuff over here. So basically, check out the channel, guys. Check out the cards.